In the last segment, I summarized that you have an underlying disposition of moving through life with conscious number one by the normality you experienced. Then, when you were immersed into different environments, your psych map was not compatible with how influences do things. You notice a lot of labels and displacement of you that occurred from the evaluating influences. You also shared that you had patterns of irrational behavior. It's good that you're able to distinguish mind dispositions from how the world works. We now have a foothold where you can isolate authenticity from the projections of others. In Haven Realm, you're no longer under the jurisdiction of anyone who could gaslight you or speak over your awareness. You have full right to express your authentic conscience and feelings without the evaluations and interference from influences. When it comes to character development, it's not about who's right. It's about cultivating an environment that nurtures growth. That said, I invite you to express your authentic state in all areas where you feel restless, where you feel displaced and unable to thrive among community.
From disposition to outcome, all my pathological missteps that were intercepted by the environment influenced the psych structuring of conscience number one. The sustained disconnection from conscience three because of fear, resentment, and depression that clouded my perception. Experiencing many scenarios where I was evaluated by behavior instead of guided through internal conditions. I can't be myself. I can't leak any underlying symptoms. That if I had high sensitivity and emotional needs, they could apply limiters, systematically arranged neutralization of feelings, to the point I don't feel anything, canceling out empathy. The overwriting of my brain conditions, where they scaled my brain to be at the same level as theirs, systematically programming me to implement psych-altering techniques in order to be treated with love and respect, to dare not exhibit symptoms of brain conditions or else it led to unpredictable outcomes, such as the overriding of role, where if missteps lead to pathological displacement, then that means taking no steps lead to stability. Hence, the psych map of conscience one that stays out of trouble by going with the flow. On a daily basis, I carry stress of no progress, of unmet emotional needs, and no escape from this condition. This is the reality of merely surviving under the scope of certain environments. Another reason why I withdraw authentic conscience, where I dare not share my thoughts and feelings because this person already knows them. And if I say anything differently, then I'm in denial of myself. And if I act against this pattern, then I'm full of pride, I'm rebellious, and self-centered. Influences won't stand up for me, won't intervene when the gaslighting individual steps out of line. I don't know if this is what's supposed to happen, but I sense either my definition of love in Christianity is distorted, or that it's meant to be for me to develop altered consciences. Now, projecting is also a big problem, when people assume I have the same intellectual ability and functioning level as them. They say things like, that's common sense, to assume everyone has the same intelligence, conditions, and habits as them, projecting the belief that everyone is well off, has reinforced network infrastructure, and pathological traction and privileges. They infer that I can read people's thoughts when they say, read in between the lines, catch body language and conversational cues. The world compounds on top of my conditions by their treatment of evaluating choices while ignoring the symptomatic impositions I told you about. Displaced authenticity is a normality when inaccurate information goes around, where I hear people form conclusions about me, where they say and do things such as denying opportunities and cutting off communication. The reason why I say it's displaced is because they make it a permanent reality, where they won't listen and have finalized it as life. Now this next part has a lot to do with living in my skin, where I'm identified as male, and yet all information classified in the category of man is projected upon me because I'm a male. This includes stereotypes, personalities, opportunities, and conditions in life. Because of this, I have self-disdain that I dare not express emotion or disclose my predispositions. This reality I have to live where people are able to be themselves and are supported through their emotions, while I'm confined within the projection of what society defines as a man. I see people being supportive of each other, helping each other prosper, and actively listening. Then there's me, who pathologically gets rejected, avoided, ignored, and more people talking against me than anyone who has ever stood up for me. So many occasions where I was unwelcome to events that implement exclusivity for certain genders. I'm referring to conditions in one's existence that are out of their control, pathologically exploited for being born different. Same goes with opportunities, support networks, and routine conversational dialogue. I can only conclude from these patterns that love and respect is conditional upon the skin a person is born in. Experiencing displaced authenticity by the treatment over and over influenced in me the alteration into conscience too in order to cope, which I will continue in the next segment.